Welcome everyone to our show today. I'm using the same voice that you did last time. Welcome everyone to our show today. You know, like that kind of.
I'm Cody.
So welcome.
Okay.
Hold on. I meant welcome everyone to our show today. Scum and the female version of that word, maybe scumettes. Yeah, this is our show.
I'm Cody. And I'm in America doing ragtag, ragamuffin stuff.
Oh, and this little boy right here, I'm Laz. I'm the man who plays with poker with tarot cards and accidentally opens a door to the hell dimension when I get a full house. And I'm in America. I'm not in America. I'm in China. And we're not across the pond, but across
the other pond. The show where we take tiny miniature hats and put them on tiny miniature teacup pigs, and then put those teacup pigs inside of teacups, and then have a tea party.
What? So wait a minute. Are these extra small teacup pigs, or
yes,
are these
like
tiny. Extra large teacups?
No, they're tiny. They fit inside teacups.
Oh, wow. Like, those are bite-sized pigs.
Yeah,
like that's bite, and you cook them up. You have bite-sized. Well,
you got to be careful to take the hat off when you cook them, though. You really don't want to cook the hat.
So wait, when they come out of, when they're birthed, they come with.
No, we put the hats on them.
Included.
We put the hats. We
like
provide
just
the hats.
When they come out.
What?
When they come out, when they're birthed, do we automatically put the hats on them?
Yes. So they grow with the hat up to their full size, and then we put them in a little teacup and have a tea party with them before we send them off to be lunch.
Oh, okay. I feel like today's intro had a rough start. What do you think?
I'd put it on like a 7 out of 10.
A 7 out of 10?
I'd put it 7 out of 10. I think it went pretty well.
Well, you know, I think people should listen to this accent I came up with today. What do you think about it? I love this accent. I don't know what kind of accent it is. It's like I'm trying to do both an Australian accent and a Cockney accent at the same time, and I have no idea what this is. What do you think, Cody?
I'm going to give it a 2 out of 10. Thanks, I hate it.
2 out of... Well, Hey, mate, why are you hating on me, mate? I'm just trying to make some accents. I'm trying to be a funny guy right here.
It sounds like you have molasses in your mouth and are trying to speak through it.
Hey, mate, what is it? Or you could take your grandma and put her in the side of a baseball bat and take her around town.
Those are the comments. Out of 5, how terrible is this accent? I wonder if we'll get any of those.
Why don't you, if you're so good at the accents, why don't you make one?
I didn't say I was good at them.
Right now.
I didn't say I was good at them. You don't have to be good at accents to judge an accent.
Okay. Well,
you see,
you do an Australian
don't
accent?
have to judge anything. You just got to make it up on the spot.
So is that your Australian accent?
I don't think it's Australian. I don't know what it is. It's like this weird... I want to call it like hummingbird almost, because I feel like a hum going through my teeth.
Sounds pretty Australian to me, especially that kind of like nasally part you had there.
I don't know about that. Well, that part, that definitely sounded Australian. I don't know.
Yeah,
Fuck it.
You can see, sometimes, I don't think you realize how Australian you sound sometimes. Like when you do your Australian accent. You sound super American when you want to be American, but when I'm just like, hey, Cody, why are you speaking an Australian accent right now? You just like go right into it.
Anybody from Australia listening to this, please rate our accents. Please.
Yeah. Like right now, if I speak right now, does this sound like an Aussie? I sound like an Aussie. I think I sound pretty much like an Australian right now. I can speak like this all day. I'll go to class and I was like, hey, what's up, teach? I'm from Australia. I hug the kangaroo and the koala bear all day, eating eucalyptus and eating scorpions raw.
I think we're getting a little bit into the ridiculous spectrum accent-wise. I feel like we're becoming a Flanderization of accents.
Well, I don't even know what Flanderization means. I only know that Flanders is the Dutch part of Belgium.
Huh, I didn't know that. Learn something new every day.
Oh, yeah.
Flanderization is like basically taking a character to its most base, extreme, and like the most base characteristic of something is to Flanderize it, to take it down from being a nuanced character to just... It's only this. And it's kind of told in the story of like Ned Flanders was an interesting character first couple of seasons, and he just became completely ridiculous. Much like
and then he just became Howdy Doodly Doodly Howdy.
Yeah, Howdy Doodly Doodly. Yeah, and sitcoms do that all the time. They'll start like first couple of seasons, a character will be interesting and kind of rounded, and then it becomes like they have one characteristic that the show uses as a crutch almost.
Yeah, kind of like how Stewie became at first was like this evil genius baby, and then he became gay.
Yeah, Stewie is a perfect example of Flanderization.
Well, you know, like I like to do that sometimes though, because it sometimes like being able to Flanderize a character or something can really hone in on like the most. What would you say the most special part of that character, or like it can show like a point better, you know, if you bring things to its extreme, you know, or you know, just for a comedic effect, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, like, why don't we just say what we're gonna do actually on our show this week?
Yep, almost 10 minutes in, we're gonna get to the point.
Oh well, I mean 7.
Actually, I don't know about that.
Minutes.
I think my timing might be off. I think we might only be 5 minutes in.
I have no idea. But so today we'll be doing some improv games. We got actually we weren't doing snake oil. We were going to do stories, right?
Right. Okay.
We're going to make improv stories. Yeah, pulling cards off, and then you have your word generator over there, which I forgot to mention that to you.
I already have it up. I had it up. I know what we're doing.
Okay, cool. So we're going to do some improv stories, and then Cody has also got a game for us. Well, you can explain that after we do the improv story game.
Yeah, we'll get there when we get there. We'll burn that bridge down when we get there.
I know what you're talking about, mate. We'll make mass suicide and the blood will rain on all the people.
Nope.
Cody, are you still there? I'm sorry about that. Like that comment right there. That's like the other part of me right now. I got this like Jekyll and Hyde thing going on now. Like it's like me and like the drunk Australian part of me. You know, it just comes out sometimes in my nightmares. You know what I'm talking about, mate.
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he just comes out sometimes. Like he doesn't. I don't know. Like I don't know what triggers it. I went to the doctor the other day, and he said, "You got a little bit of a kangaroo, koala bear kind of situation going on in the back of the left side of your brain. We might have to do a biopsy on that in a couple days." And then like yeah, well, I didn't that right there wasn't that drunken Australian part. The doctor was actually Australian, and I think he was drunk at the time too. I could smell it on his breath. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest here, Les. You got to the biopsy and you kind of lost me.
No. I'm. This is what this podcast is about right now. It's about telling a story that isn't true, just a story that has come to my mind from I don't know where. Maybe it's God. Is this what God is? Is God just imagination?
All right then, my friend.
Okay, well, why don't we get this started? You want to go first or me go first?
I was going to say, should we, like, do a random number generator and, like, flip a coin effectively?
Nah. Why don't I go first? Because the last time we did this as an exercise, you went first.
That's true.
So,
That's true. You can go first.
So give me a premise, and then I'll start with it, and then you tell me, like, some of the elements as I go.
Okay. You just missed the bus to go downtown.
Okay.
To hang out with a group of friends.
Okay.
And you're about 6 miles away. So it's going to be a heckin' walk if you want to get over there. But you better get started because there's no more buses.
Okay.
It's also like 7 in the evening.
Oh, is this a good part of town or a bad part of town?
You have to go through a good, a bad, and a medium part of town to get there.
Oh, okay. Well, I usually like the medium part because that's how I like my steak. All right. Well, okay. So let's say I live in the bad part of town. Okay. So, and like, I'm a feeble little man. I barely have the strength to pick up, at least even two folding chairs at the same time. So I can't make all the church maidens wet at the sight of me picking up 4 folding chairs, you know? So I'm going to this, when I go outside my door in the morning to get to the bus stop, like, I really have to be careful. Like, there might be like some thugs named Brick. Like, I don't know what's with this my neighborhood, but there's a lot of thugs named Brick, and I think it's just they were named after their body build. They're like made of bricks, man. Like, and when they hit you, it's like being hit with a brick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
so my feeble, tiny little body, it's barely better than someone that just came out of chemo. You know. Like, I'm like SpongeBob trying to, like, pick up 2 marshmallows. So, like, I'm walking down to the bus stop. I get to and I'm looking at my iPod, but also keeping 2 eyes to the side of me to look out for bricks. And so I'm walking there, but then out of the corner of my eye, I see the butt end of the bus leaving away. And that's when I panic because I know it's just like one of those zombie games where the last wave is coming and you know what's going to happen. I know the bricks are coming, man. Yeah. The bricks are coming. And I am definitely not the...
You notice this. Off of the bus, as you turn the corner and it's speeding away, a hook, like somebody's hand hook, has fallen off the back of the bus and is starting to clatter towards you.
Oh, okay. Well, like... At first, I look at that hook and I'm wondering why. Maybe that person doesn't have a hand. Is that why he changed his hand to be a hook instead? And why does it extending like that? But then I look up again to see in the window. It's actually my friend Hooky McCook waving at me. He's been my best friend since 20th grade. And man, he can really cook up a mean steak, you know? And he decided one day that it would be awesome if he just cut off his hand and replaced it with a grappling hook. And just in this situation, it proved its usefulness. I ran towards the hook, and I hooked it right onto the fleshiest part of the backside of my thigh, so I can really get it in there deep. And the bus started going a little faster because it knew this was a bad neighborhood and there was bricks lurking about. So it started picking up some speed, and I started getting dragged across the gravel road over there because, you know, in this neighborhood, where are you going to find like freshly paved, delicious roads, right?
And in a turn of events that might be unlucky or lucky, it begins to rain, thus making these unwell-paved roads incredibly muddy.
Oh, yeah. So I just start getting wrecked with mud, you know? I'm like a pig in a barnyard, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not having a blast, but everyone on the bus is like, look at that guy. He's all bloody and he's got a hook in his thigh. And man, he's just like flailing around like a rag doll. And they're looking at that and they're just having the time of their life. They're taking YouTube videos of it. And they're posting me on Facebook and they're like, look at this guy. Look at this asshole, man. Like he's just like he's just a stick in the mud, you know what I'm saying? And like then I start going to the good neighborhood, and then all the rich Jacks and Beckys come out of their houses talking about the weather, and
it's tea time for all of them, so everybody is coming out with a nice hot kettle.
Oh, yeah. And so when they see me getting dragged off like that behind the bus, they run after me asking me if I want a cup of tea. And I politely say, no, I'm kind of in a pickle right now. And so, but then luckily we get to the bus stop in that neighborhood and I'm able to take off the hook. And so I got off the hook and I went onto the bus and I sat with my friend Hookie the Cook. And he's like, man, that was a pickle. And I was like, yeah, I used to be a cucumber, but now I just went through the pickling process. And now I'm in a pickle. I am the pickle. And then Hookie the Cook was like, that's what I like to hear. I like to hear food metaphors because I am a cook named Hookie. And then we're like, yeah. And that's our conversations that we have because we're best friends ever since the 20th grade.
Okay.
And so
you were so caught up with reuniting with your buddy Hookie the Cook, you didn't catch the brick that was sitting behind you guys. And he pulls out this long chain and chains you and Hookie together, slaps a padlock on it, and he takes off the bus and he just starts running. So now you're chained together with your hook best friend.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit! Well, that's okay because actually, me and Hookie are gay together. So we always wanted to bring ourselves in holy matrimony with a padlock because that was actually one of our sexual fantasies. So now we're on a public bus and we're getting a little jazzed, you know. We're getting the mojo going, but then we also don't want to. We don't want everyone to see because there's children on the bus, and it's not because we're gay and we don't want to show our affection to each other because we're gay. It's just because we don't want to do anything sexual regardless of our sexual orientation. So we get off at the next stop, and because we're feeling so jazzed, we go to a jazz club. But this neighborhood is also bad, and there's also a lot of bricks lurking about. So
these are special bricks, though. All of these bricks are wearing gloves.
Oh yeah, so that's that way you can't see their vicious claws that are hidden beneath the leathery surface, you know. And the other thing about these gloves, they're filled with Vaseline. So when they cut you, it's a nice clean cut, you know, because the Vaseline is a lubricant and it just gets a nice clean cut in there. So that's the thing about bricks. They like Vaseline and they're sharp, you know. Yeah. And so we go we're getting to this jazz club and we start listening to some bassoon jazz. It's like and so we start getting down with down with it, jiggy with it, and then a brick comes up to us and it's like, hey, and we're like, hey,
and here's what he says to you. Like, he says this to you. He says, hey, it's my birthday today, and I got these cakes, and it would be my glorious pleasure to shove these cakes in your face.
Oh, and then we're like, anything for you. and then he shoves the cakes in our face, and it just so happens that one of them is a peanut butter cake, and Hooky the cook is allergic to peanuts, and he dies. He just dies. And so then I'm just stuck with a dead body padlocked to me, but I'm like, I still gotta get to work in this economy. Like, I can't just go to a funeral now. I can't go to the morgue now. I still gotta go to my three nickel an hour paper pushing job. That's what I do. I push papers, because now in this society, all the good jobs have been taken by robots, and now we just have to keep ourselves busy for something. So now they just put a whole bunch of random words in a bingo ball spinner thing and pull out some words, and they got out paper pusher. And so that's what I do now. I just push on papers because it's an activity for something, and I get paid for that. So.
And while you've been lost in thought describing to this brick what you do for a living, suddenly grapes start pouring out of Hook's body. He was a chef and he had a bunch of grapes on him, and they just start falling out of his pockets, out of his coat, out of his hands. Grapes everywhere. You couldn't believe that there were so many grapes on this man.
Oh yeah, and then I'm like, oh well, that's okay. I need some vitamin C. I heard that vitamin C was good for you through the grapevine. And so that's when I realized, actually, wait a minute. Hooky cook, he was actually a grape the entire time. And I'm actually, just like him dying, released the torrent of grape babies that he had birthed inside of his body. So this is when I found out, I'm even more in a pickle now. I got to do something. I got to go to work, but all these grapes, what am I going to do about them? So I decide to take all the grapes to the nearest vineyard, and I tell the vineyard master there, hey, my dead friend was a grape. And he's like, I see that. And I tell him, he has a lot of babies, and then the vineyard master says, I see that. And I'm like, I can sell you this body. And then he's like, well, no. And so I leave, and I still have this body attached to me. So I go to work, and then everyone looks at me and is like, okay, wait a minute. You need to go to the police because you have a dead body attached to you.
Also, it's like, quick note on your workplace. Everybody's just in their underwear today. Because you didn't realize it was Underwear Tuesday. And you weren't supposed to be wearing clothes today.
Yeah, and I'm wearing overwear. What the fuck is up with me? So the thing is, now I'm getting nervous because my mother always told me when I go up on stage and I have to public speak, I have to imagine everyone in their underwear. But now this is a pickle. Because everyone is in their underwear, and I'm the one that's not in underwear. So what am I supposed to do now? So I picture them with clothes, but that just makes me even more nervous. And I piss myself twice. And then it smells like pee, and there's grapes everywhere. And I gotta go to the police. But the paper is still not, it's being pulled, not pushed. And that's when I just go berserk. And that's when I realized actually who my father actually was. Because when I was a kid, I was raised by a single parent. And my dad apparently left us when I was 6 years old. And I don't have any memory of that time. But that's when I became angry in that moment. My hands became claws, and my palms started seeping Vaseline, and my body became larger. And that's when I realized I'm a brick. And then... Mm-hmm.
Oh no! If you have more, keep going. I was say we're probably. You discovered that you're a prick.
Yeah, and so that's when everyone screamed, first of all, and then they panicked, second of all, and then third of all, they all took a Xanax because in this situation they really need to calm down, and they took the Xanax, and then they just kind of thought, and they thought a little more, and they thought about the situation. Well, this is really a pickle. This is really a pickle. And so, actually, they decided at this moment it would be much more logical and better for the entirety of the office if they just lined up in single file and one by one left out of the fire exit, as should be. And so, but I was raging, so the first person I saw, I killed them. I took a big glop of Vaseline and stuffed it in their mouth, and they choked on it and died, as they should. And so then I took some Vaseline, and because I saw there was a fine young man next to me that had some chapped lips, I ripped off his legs and said, "Don't go anywhere." And he's like, "Well, I won't now." And so then I actually calmed down after that because it's like, well, you know, I should be fine with the way my life is going because I have legs. This man that I just ripped off the legs of, he doesn't have legs anymore. And I should be okay with that. I should be okay with being able to walk. And so that's when I calmed down, and I then reverted to my regular bony, weak self and sat there and waited for the ambulance and pretty much the SWAT team and everything to come and engulf me in the law. And then I rotted in prison for the rest of my life. And nobody did anything about the body. They just said, put him in with him. And so
your cellmate, by the way,
yeah.
Is a small baby.
Oh yeah, apparently the baby committed multiple school shootings in the same day. So like I was like, well, baby, I guess it's just you and me now. And then that's when he was like, I guess that's all I have for this story. I couldn't think of a good ending.
Well, now it's over. Thus, the ending is good.
And it was good.
That was a good one. I like that.
Okay. Well, I felt like that was like all over the place. I was just kind of going with what was coming into my mind, you know. I couldn't really put in anything together, and I think I was trying to make it too funny.
I like how you went from having to go and meet your friends to having to go to work.
Oh, was I originally supposed to go see my friends?
That was the original scenario, was to go and see your friends.
Oh, well, okay, well, it changed.
It did change in the middle when you found Captain Hook, Hookie Hookington.
Hookie the Cook, yeah. Oh, yeah, Hookie the Cook was a grape that died.
That guy had me in giggles.
Okay, well, so now it's your turn.
Okay.
So,
how
long? Let me think of a premise.
How long are we aiming for on story-wise?
Maybe we should do it more like 5 minutes because I think that one was way too long.
I think that was about 10-ish minutes.
Yeah. So why don't we try a 5-minute one this time?
Okay. I'll aim for 5 minutes.
Okay. I'll give you a premise. Okay. I'm gonna give you a wild premise. Okay. So get this. You're a Tasmanian devil in the middle of a field of roses. And the thing is, the roses, they have been sprayed with the venom of the black mamba. So if you if you touch it dry, it's not going to really do anything to you. But if you get pricked by the roses, then you're gonna die like in the next 2 minutes. So the thing is, you gotta go to the airport in the next hour, but you just got stuck in this situation. I'm not going to tell you how, but you're just in this situation.
Okay.
So go.
All right. Tasmanian devil in a field, can't be pricked by roses.
Yeah.
Headed to the airport.
Get to your airplane, and you gotta get to Dubai in the next 14 hours or so.
Okay. All right. Okay. Oh, I am a Tasmanian devil now. I am a beast. Mm-hmm. I am the devil of Tasmania. But I see surrounding me, I see these roses, and I can smell it in the air. It's death. It's the poison of my deadly nemesis, the Black Mamba. He must have trapped me here. I must take this carefully. I slowly move one paw at a time, very slowly, inch my way around these roses. And as I progress further, I can hear the sound of the Black Mamba in the distance, and he's laughing at me. He's laughing as I have to take my time when he knows I'm in a hurry to get to this airport to go to Dubai. How dare he interrupt me? I mark it down in my dream journal that I need to beat him.
Mm-hmm. And that's when you see in front of you, in the midst of all the roses, there's just a nice, just freshly baked pie. And it's not any pie, it's an ant pie, because Tasmanian devils, I think, like ants, I don't know, but there's an ant pie and you want it.
A new smell arrives on the air for me. Smell of pie. I turn, I see it. It's pie for me. But I must work my way through the roses more. I start to part them more vicariously. If I die for pie, it's fine. I start swimming through the roses. I'm pricked. No! I must escape from these roses. I quickly scoop up the pie in my mouth and make a mad dash to the outside of the roses. I devour the pie. In two bites, I can hear the sounds of the ants as they perish in my mouth. I have to suck the venom out. I have to find a way to get this Black Mamba venom out of here. I can hear him laughing in the distance. I create a makeshift tourniquet using the pie tin to staunch the bleeding of these thorns. I start pulling the thorns out with my mouth, and I suck the venom out. I feel that I might survive this, but I'm not sure. I'm not a doctor. I'm just a Tasmanian devil.
And then that's when a doctor grows out of the ground. It's a what's that called? It's a druid doctor. He grows. He's a plant, and he
has a sunflower on his head.
He's a sunflower head doctor, and he sees you in this situation. Okay, go.
The sunflower doctor looks at me, looks at the field, says to me, Tasmanian devil, you're a fool, but I can cure you. But you will no longer be a Tasmanian devil. I will have to transform you into the Black Mamba itself. It's the only way to stop this potent venom. Out of his sleeve, he pulls out a large syringe. It is the size of a small baby. He pulls back the plunger, sticks it into my abdomen, and injects me. I feel my body shrinking. My limbs suck into my torso. I scream one last time before I only make the sound. I see an infrared. And I don't understand what's happening. Yes?
And then that's when from out of nowhere a small meteor starts hurling towards you. And you can only see this because you're now seeing an infrared. So it suddenly comes into your vision.
I see a tiny meteor. It's so small. It's so small, but it's so deadly. I see it aiming for the doctor who just saved my life, in a way, because I don't know if I really wanted to be a Black Mamba, but I at least am alive. I try to warn him, but he no longer understands what I'm saying. He just stands there and looks at me like I'm just speaking some other language. But I know he can understand me, right? I'm still speaking Tasmanian Devil.
But that's when all of a sudden Harry Potter appears out of nowhere, and because he knows parcel tongue, he can be your translator.
I tell Harry Potter, please warn the Sunflower Doctor that the meteor is headed right for him. Harry looks at me and says, I can do that, my friend. And he tells the Sunflower Doctor, and the Sunflower Doctor, instead of listening to Harry Potter, pulls out a flintlock pistol and shoots him in the chest. Harry Potter is flung 30 feet off into the roses. How will I get my message across if the Sunflower Doctor won't listen? And in all this time, the meteor has been approaching faster and faster. I can see it gaining speed. It's entering through the atmosphere. And he'll never make it. I bite the Sunflower Doctor. At least this death will be quicker than the meteorite. I misjudged the timing of the poison. He gets a meteor through his chest. And he falls over. I can see the pain in his eyes as poison seeps through his veins and his chest is ripped apart by a burning meteor.
Mm-hmm. And in the meteor, you see something moving about.
What?
Go.
What could be moving around in this meteor? What is this? I move my way over to the meteor and I peek my head inside. It's hot, but I am a black mamba now, and I do not fear heat. I see inside of the meteor is a small rainbow chromatic cricket. It flexes its wings and hops away. I chase it. It hops so fast, so unnervingly fast. I can't keep up with it. It jumps and jumps and jumps and jumps and jumps and jumps right into a tree. And as it hits the tree, it turns into a bird. What is this creature that can transform into different animals? I don't understand. It makes no sense. I don't know how to climb a tree as a snake because I've only ever been a Tasmanian Devil, and I am stumped at my inability to reach this bird, who starts singing a tune that sounds like this.
Spaghetti is my favorite dish. It's what I like to sink my fingers into.
I suddenly remember I need to be in an airplane in Dubai, but they're expecting a Tasmanian Devil. How will I get there? On the next episode of How I Turned Into a Black Mamba. I think that's about 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. Come on, you didn't do anything with the spaghetti.
I didn't do anything with the spaghetti. Because I didn't know what to do with the spaghetti. Because this is absurd.
Well, I mean, come on. But that's the thing. You gotta be one with the absurd, you know? If life gives you spaghetti, you're just going to have to dive in and just let yourself be engulfed by spaghetti. Lazarus Richardson, 2019.
Mark that for highlight. Right there.
Yeah.
Chink, highlight.
Yeah, there you go. Mm-hmm. So, do we want to do another improv story? I think that kind of got our juices going.
A little bit, but we've only got yeah, we can do another one.
Maybe another 2 short ones.
Yeah, I think we can fit another 2 short ones in, and then a rapid fire alphabet game to close us out.
Yeah. Okay, so give me a premise.
Okay. A premise. You, Lazarus,
that's me,
have woken up in a hospital, but there's nobody in it. It's just you. Mm-hmm. You're not hooked up to any machines or anything. It doesn't seem like you were sick or anything. You just somehow ended up in a hospital.
Okay. So I woke up in this hospital? Is that
you
what
woke
you're
up. You don't even remember going to sleep.
Okay. Is that it?
You hear the sounds from outside. We know you have hostages in there! Come out with your hands up!
Okay. I can work with this. All right. I wake up. I kind of writhe a little bit in bed because, it's early in the morning. I don't really want to get up, but I know I got to go to my job today. I got to go push those papers, But then something feels wrong. This isn't my usual Egyptian cotton sheets that I bought from actual Egypt. What's with this weird, strange, starchy, kind of sterile smell? I don't understand. And I open one eye and I see everything's white. It's like, wait a minute. And that makes both my eyes and my entire body pop up straight up. And I look around me. What am I doing in this white room? And I see like besides me, there is a heart rate monitor hooked up to me. And I'm confused.
You notice something strange about this heart rate monitor. Instead of the standard EKG screen of the beeps of your heart, a giraffe keeps flashing up on the screen.
Yeah, I noticed there was a small picture of a giraffe appearing every time my heart pulsed. And I was like, oh, that's kind of fun. That's fun for the kids. If they're dying, at least they get to see a giraffe. And I noticed around me, actually, the whole room had a lot of fun things. There was a nice big plush teddy bear that I could hug if both my parents didn't care enough to come and see me. And there was also like a little playpen that was filled with gummy bears. I could just jump into the gummy bears, but don't eat them because, it's just like the same thing if you see, if you see a jar of M&Ms behind like on a toilet bowl, like you're not going to want to eat those, right? So yeah, just you can jump into the gummy bears, just don't eat them. That's what I was thinking. And then there's just all sorts of fun things in there. But then after I surveyed the room, I heard the sound of a megaphone calling me from outside.
Come out with your hands up! We know you have hostages in there!
And that's when I started panicking. I looked outside the window and I noticed there was 52 helicopters careening throughout the air, and there was a single policeman standing in front of the hospital with his hands cupped around his mouth, and then he was speaking at the same volume as a microphone. I'm like, whoa, that guy has some lungs, baby. And then that's when I started panicking a little bit.
And you see behind the police officer is the largest alarm clock you've ever seen. It stands 15 feet tall. And the police officer says to you, this alarm will ring in 15 minutes and the sound wave will tear down your hospital if you don't come out here.
But that's the thing. I'm deaf. I couldn't hear what he was saying. So I said, what? And then he's like, and then he said something again. The only reason I was able to notice anything from outside before was because I can actually feel the sound waves, the seismic waves through the ground. And his voice is so loud that it's like, I can feel the seismic waves of his voice. But wait, that now I just made a loop that I can't get out of the story. So scratch that, I'm not deaf. Like, I have ears that work.
You're not deaf, but you are a professional volleyball player.
Oh, yeah. And so that's when I said, okay, I was just at a game last night, and all I remember is I hit a ball, and now I'm here. What's up with that? And then he's like, well, I don't give a shit about your volleyball career. You just killed 17 people, and there's still another 17 in this building. And you need to come out and just give yourself up and give us the hostages, you know? All right, come up with something for me next.
You feel a chill come over the room, like very, very quickly, and suddenly icicles begin to appear on the ceiling above you, and stalactite icicles build up on the floor.
And then that's when Casper, the friendly ghost, appears out of nowhere, and he's like, "Hey, buddy, old boy." He's like, "You want to play a game?" And I'm like, "Casper, I don't fucking have time right now. Like, I'm kind of in a pickle." And that's when Casper's like, "Gee Willikers, well, why don't we just kill him?" And then it's like, "No, Casper, we can't get ourselves in more deep shit." But then he doesn't listen to me. He picks up a scalpel and rockets towards this police officer. And because the police officer, like any other person, does not have psychic abilities, he is not able to see Casper. All he sees is from the window that I was standing at before, a scalpel rocketing towards his arteries, his main artery on his throat, which I forgot what it's called, the aorta. And then he's quick as a speeding bullet, so he actually was able to grab the scalpel in midair before it hit his aorta. And then he's like, "That's the last straw." And then that's when he pulls out a grenade. And he also sprouts wings. Suddenly, lustrous golden wings appear out of his back. And then that's when I realize, oh, this is Judgment Day. He's Gabriel. Is this the pearly gates? And then that's when I realize, in the distance, those are the pearly gates. It's like, what am I doing in heaven? In the hospital of heaven? And then it's like, wait a minute. Is this Judgment Day? And then that's when Gabriel says, "This is Judgment Day." And he pulls out the ring of the grenade with his teeth and hurls it at a pile of babies. And then that's when I realized, this isn't heaven. This is a different place that isn't heaven. And then, like, the babies blow up. And then I'm like, holy shit, that was a pile of babies. And then it's like, what? And then he's like, "What are you gonna do now, motherfucker?" And then I was like, well, this is kind of a pickle because I have hostages here and you just blew up a pile of babies. I'm not sure what justice is here. And he's like, "Justice is your imagination." And then that's when I woke up. And a pear tree sprouted out of your bed. A parrot tree. A pear tree. Oh, a pear tree sprouted out of my bed as soon as I woke up. And when I ate the lustrous fruit off of this tree, I then wept tears of joy as it reminded me of Nam. It reminded me of Nam. I remembered that angel was actually me. I remember in Nam, there was one time when the colonel ordered me to throw a grenade at a pile of babies, and I did it. And now, ever since, I've been having nightmares about killing babies, and now that's why I am in this hospital, because I have gone psychotic. That's the end of the story. That's just another day for you. Mm-hmm. Exactly. All right, so you want to do another story then? Or do you want to go straight into the alphabet game?
Let's go into the alphabet game. We got about 10 minutes left. So I'll do a quick description of the game.
All right, sounds good.
What we're going to do, so I thought about this, I guess like last week actually. I was having a lot of fun. I was talking to Ashley, and I kept making up just like names like Negative Nancy and Debbie Downer. Those aren't made up, but I was making up other ones like Tenacious Terry's or unforgivable Ulrichs.
Okay.
So I think
What's an Ulrich?
That's a name. Ulrich is a name.
Oh, it's a name. Okay.
Yeah. So adjective name, but with the alphabet. So whoever starts.
So we
gets
just go one by one.
Yep, one by one, and then we'll trade off. So,
okay. So do I start or do you start?
I'll start with the A, and I'm gonna start with ambivalent Arthurs.
Okay. Bumfuck Bettys.
Charcutinous Calvins.
Daring Derricks.
I like that one. Egregious Elrics.
Fucking Franks.
Ginormous Garretts.
Wait, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Okay. Heroic Heralds.
I'm gonna go with imitatable Izzies.
Oh, let's see. Jazzy Jasmines.
Am I on K?
K, yeah.
Killer Kevins.
Killer Kevins, okay. Licorice Lawrence's. That sounds like an old time candy, actually.
Yeah, it does. Malicious Marvins.
Narcotic Nancy's.
Obsessive Ogilvies.
Ogilvy? Is that
Ogilvy?
a name?
It is! That's the name of Sonic in the Archie comics. Ogilvy.
What? His name is... Holy shit. I've never heard anybody named Ogilvy. Like, where is that from? Is that like like Irish? It almost sounds Irish to me. I don't know why. Ogilvy. Wow. I'll have to look up the history of that name. Ogilvy. Man, I can't even imagine naming my kid Ogilvy. Are you looking that up right now?
It's Ogleby. Sorry, not a V.
Ogilvy. Where is that name from?
Or no,
Ogilvy.
it is Ogilvy. Ogilvy Maurice.
Ogilvy. Wait, so where is that name from? What's the origin of Ogilvy, that name?
I don't know the origin of the name. It comes from a Archie comic, I believe. Yeah, Archie comics only.
Maybe that's... Wait, is that an actual name in America? Is that an American name?
I've never heard of the name Ogilvy outside of that comic.
Okay, well, anyway, why don't we keep going? So, L-M-N-O-P. Okay, I'm on P. Pernicious Pennies.
Quiet Quins.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R. Okay. Ridiculous Ricks.
Satiable Sallies.
Ooh, that's sensual. Let's see. L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T. Okay. Timeless Tims.
Unbreakable Unvix.
Vicarious Vickies.
I like that one.
Mm-hmm.
Wily Willies.
Wily Willies. Let's see. Willie is the name? I've never heard. Are people named Willie?
There's definitely, like Will, it's a nickname for Will. Wily Will.
Now you give me an X. God damn it. Okay, what am I supposed to do here? X. God damn it. I can't think of any adjectives with X.
I don't know if there are any, actually. I think they might all be nouns.
Yeah, I can't think. I'm just going to make come up with exciting Xavier. That's the only name that I know.
That's close enough.
With an X. So, yeah, okay. What's next? Y?
Yep, Y.
Right? And then I have Z. Okay.
Y. Mm-hmm. Youthful.
Is there any? You can't think of a Y name?
Youthful. Yavi.
Yavi?
I think Yavi is a name, but I think that's normally with a J and not a Y.
Well, there's also a Yanni.
There's what?
Yanni. You know, that one.
Oh, Yanni. Yeah, one, youthful Yanni works a lot better.
Youthful Yanni. And then, so then Zigzag Zanzibar. I don't know if any kid is named Zanzibar, but I just like that. That would make a good name, I think. Zanzibar.
Zanzibar. You can nickname him Zans.
I actually had a friend in elementary school named Zan.
That's pretty cool.
His name was Alexander, and so he didn't go by Alex. He went by Zan.
Huh.
I thought that was so cool. Like, when I was a kid, I was just like, oh, that's like the coolest nickname ever. Because, like, before that time, I was like... So, like, usually when you come up with, like, a short name for yourself, you usually just go with the beginning of it, right?
Yeah, just the first part. If your name's long enough,
Lazarus,
unlike me.
I'd go by Laz. But, you know, I could also go by Aris, you know?
Yeah. Or you could go by
Russ.
Czar.
Czar, you know? Yeah, you just call me... Just... see me as a Russian monarch, right?
Yeah, Russian king. Russian Tsar.
Mm-hmm. You know, I was thinking, so with this game, we could also try another variation of it. So not just doing names like this, but we could also do band names. Try to come up with band names with this.
That could be pretty cool.
So for every letter, we'll have to come up with a cool band name. So why don't we try this, and then we'll end the podcast there after.
That sounds good. I like that idea. So you're gonna have A this time.
I start off. Yeah, I'll start off with A. Okay, so the alcoholic atomic anorexic ant farmers.
Quick ground rule. How many words does it have to be before it's considered a band name?
It just has... So, it doesn't matter. It just come up... As long as the first letter is the letter that you're on.
All right. Band name. Baritonius.
I kind of like that. Baritonius. It sounds like baritone, but like with an...
Yeah.
Kind of like
more like a name.
A Roman flair. Like a Roman flair to it.
Yeah.
Let's see. C. Clap, clap, clap your hands.
D. Dancing Daredevils.
Okay, that sounds like a very normal, like, 80s band.
Yeah, you know. So you can't have unique bands everywhere.
Uh-huh. Let's see, I'm going to come up with, extra refills. That's a band name. Extra refills. So you're an F.
The Forthcoming Fathers.
Forthcoming Fathers. Well, they would. I don't even know what kind of style that would be. Maybe almost like.
I kind of picture like a cappella almost.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Actually, like a cappella, like old time, like Renaissance a cappella.
Yeah, that sounds perfect for the Forthcoming Fathers.
Uh-huh. So F and then A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay. goofy blimpkins. I don't know. I was just there. You go. That fills a space.
Fill the space. I'm gonna go with the. I want to get the word howling in there, so I'm gonna go with howling bay dogs.
The howling bay dogs. What the hell is a bay dog?
I don't know. It's nobody knows what it means. It's provocative.
It sounds cool though. A bay dog. It almost sounds like some sort of like a coastal cities football team.
The Bay Dogs.
Yeah, or like the Alabama Bay Dogs. It's like, what's a Bay Dog? And it's like, well, it's us. You know, like we're the Bay Dogs. Okay, so you got the Howling Bay Dogs. I mean, I feel like we could even just start doing team names here. That could even be a future one. But let's see. So, now it's I.
Yeah, you're on I.
Okay. Oh, here's one. The Iodiners.
Ooh.
And it's like diner, you know.
I like that.
Iodiners. And it's like Io, like the moon of Saturn.
Yeah.
Iodiners. Uh-huh. I actually really like that one.
Oh, it's cool. Somebody take that one.
Yeah, and become the Iodiners. And then make like science fiction songs.
Okay.
In the style of 50s.
I've got J. I'm gonna go with this is just a jazz man. Jubilant Jack.
Jubilant Jack, the jazz man.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I like that one. That's a good like solo artist. And I have K, and I'll go with kangaroos and koala bears. It's an Australian band. They make, songs about koala bears and kangaroos. All right, your turn.
L. L.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Luck strikes at 12.
Ooh. That almost sounds like a movie title, actually.
Yeah.
Or maybe a short story.
Yeah, that's a good idea too.
Yeah. And M. Meat gloves. Yeah. That's what that is. Okay, go.
Night boxers.
Ooh, you're coming up with some good ones. I'm coming up with some stupid ones. I'm only proud of iodiners. That's it. Okay, LMNO. Okay, O.
Yeah.
Oh no, the Martians are coming again. I actually kind of like that one.
I like that one a lot. I'd put that band on shuffle.
Yeah, exactly. You got P now.
Plucky Parnassus the Bassus.
What?
Plucky Parnassus the Bassus. I don't know what I'm going with there.
What's a flucky? Is that a word?
Plucky. Like pluck?
Oh, plucky.
Like this boy's got pluck?
I heard flucky. I've never heard that. Is that a new hip thing to say?
It is definitely not. Pluck is like really, really old. Really old. That guy's got pluck.
I've never heard that. Is that an Australian thing?
I don't think so. I think I learned it in like Scrabble at some point.
Oh. Well, I mean, there's the word pluck, as in pluck some feathers from this chicken.
Yeah. Anyway, you've got
okay.
Q this time? Yeah.
Really? Okay. Quiet, loud sounds.
I like that one, actually. are
Okay.
raging rockets.
See, you don't need to do alliterations every time.
I know, but I like the raging
You
rockets.
can do other things. It seems like you really like alliteration.
I love alliteration.
Well, that's okay. You can play in the corner with all the other alliteration kids. Let's see, Raging Rocket, elemental PQRS. Okay, S. The slithering, koala bears.
Okay, I've got T. Tungsten bell.
Ooh, that's cool. I like that. I feel like every time it comes with something science fiction-y or something to do with like metal or something, we can make good ones.
Yeah.
So let's see.
Tungsten is such a cool sounding metal. Tungsten.
Yeah, I know. Tungsten. You know, there's just some words that just sound cool like that.
Yeah.
Elemental PQRSTU. Okay, U. All right. Well, the obvious one is uranium, but I feel like I want to do something else. Like utopian depression.
That's oh boy, that could be good.
Uh-huh.
There's definitely some room for how that band can play.
Uh-huh, exactly.
What am I at? V?
Okay, so yeah.
Violins of Yore. They're a quartet violin band that only plays things from the 13th century.
Vjor.
Yore. Violins of Yore.
Oh, your.
Although violins
Yore
of
as in,
war
like-
would be pretty cool.
Oh, I mean, I kind of like. I just need to know what your is. Is that a place?
Like the days of yore. It's like saying something is old.
Oh, I've never heard that. I've actually never heard that.
Really, you haven't heard like, oh, those tales from the days of yore?
No, I've never heard that. I don't speak Old English. I speak New English. Modern English. Let's see, and then that would put me at W, right?
Yes, that puts you at W.
Let's see. The Wampos.
We got X now.
Wampos. Yeah.
The xylophone Zephyr.
Okay. So it's like a xylophone band.
Yeah, all xylophones. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Then
It's gonna sound like a...
And the stage, though, they spin in a circle like a zephyr.
I don't know what a zephyr is either. You're giving me all these new words.
Zephyr.
That I've never heard.
A zephyr is like a windstorm, I guess, is the definition, kind of. Like it's this squall of wind. A zephyr.
What the fuck is a squall?
Laz, I'm gonna need you to read some English words. I need you to read the dictionary for me. That's your homework.
Ah, goddamn. Okay, I'll read the dictionary this week.
You've got
Which
Y.
one, Webster? I think Webster's like the American one. Okay,
Yeah.
so Y. Let's see. I'll go with U and U.
U and U?
Yeah, U and U.
I like that. It's simple.
And the first U is... Oh, wait. The first U is like you, and you... The second one is you like a female sheep. You
Nice.
and you.
I like that one a lot.
Uh-huh.
Z. Zamboni's on the ice.
What's a Zamboni?
A Zamboni is the thing they clean the hockey rink with. It's the big thing that cleans the ice.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit. You're throwing some like really like crazy words at me today. I've never heard it.
I don't think these words are that crazy. Also, quick correction from earlier.
Today.
Zephyr is a soft, gentle breeze, not a
really?
windstorm.
And it starts with X?
It starts with Z.
That word starts with an A. Oh, but you used it when we were doing...
Yeah, I said xylophone zephyr.
Yeah.
So a soft, gentle breeze of xylophones.
Oh, that sounds even better. I like just saying the soft, gentle breeze of the xylophones.
Yep.
It paints a nice picture.
It rolls right off the tongue.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I guess that concludes our podcast for this week.
Time for the wrap-up section. What do you have to plug, Laz?
Well, this week I started a new channel on YouTube for about languages. So, as you know, if you've been following our podcast, I've been learning Swedish for this year. And I put up my videos of my progress every week doing Swedish. And also I'm going to be putting up videos about how to learn languages and just me talking about languages in general. So if you're interested in that, you can look me up on YouTube, Languages as of Laz. So you can check that out. And how about you? Do you got anything to plug?
I officially have my own personal Twitter, at AOP Cody.
Yeah.
If you want to follow that, follow our podcast Twitter, at OtherPondPod. Find us on Facebook, at our Across the Other Pond Facebook page. If you're listening to this on YouTube, leave us a comment, leave us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button.
And the little bell to get a notification when...
Join the notification squad.
Put up new video. Yeah, is that like the thing everyone says now? It kind of seems lame to me. Yeah. I want to do a different thing. The notification. I can't think of anything, Cody. Fuck my brain.
We're just gonna go with the notification blanks, and we'll fill it in later.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, blanks. And if you can think of something better than me going into a breakdown, then leave that in the comments below. Oh, and maybe we'll use that in the future.
I like that a lot.
Okay, well, yeah, but anyway, that's it for our show this week. And we'll
I thought of something we can do kind of close out. Now to take a dip in the pond, and then we close out.
A dip in the pond. That sounds like skinny dipping to me.
Is that bad?
I mean, I've never been skinny dipping. I guess we could try.
I mean, it's just like being in a big bathtub
with your friends.
All right.
Right?
I mean, I did that back in high school. My buddy and I that went on the trip, we sat in the onsen, the traditional one. Just bathing, being men.
I mean, I've heard that Scandinavians skinny dip all the time. It's not really being naked's not really like a bad thing or has any real sexual.
No, absolutely not. It's just
connotations to it.
It's just bodies, man.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what we should end on. It's just bodies, man. Cody, 2019. Yep,
it's just bodies, man.
All right, well.
Closing out.
Well, that's all we got closing out this week, and we'll see you, all you special people, next week and we will give you more brain salad.
Love it.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, I'm stopping recording.